Hi everyone, welcome back. Today's video is going to be a bunch of empties. This is everything that I finished up within the last 2 months. And thankfully there's more in here than there was last time, because last time I was like, do I even keep up with these bi-monthly? Because there really just wasn't enough to talk about in my opinion. But this thing seems relatively full. Okay, kicking it off with a scrub. So this is the Soap and Glory Flake Away. Is that the actual name? I think it's the regular pink scent, which I don't know why they call it the pink scent. Anyway, this is completely empty. It's not my favorite scent from Soap and Glory. That one is reserved for the breakfast scrub. Holy smokes, that thing is so good. But I believe I actually got this from PR, and I do like it enough that using it, you know, is fine. But I don't love the consistency as much in this one as I do with the breakfast scrub. The breakfast scrub is a little bit more of an oatmeal texture, which sounds funny, but it's just a little bit thicker and denser. This one's a little bit more gelatinous. I wouldn't say that it's like super loose and gooey, if that makes sense, but it's just not quite as dense as a breakfast scrub. So I definitely prefer the breakfast scrub over this one, but still, now that I've said that, I still enjoyed using this. So even though it's not my favorite, it was still nice to use. And I've just noticed it's all dripping all over me. Great. Okay, I have a face mask here, which is a little bit weird because it's open from the bottom and I'm worried that any liquid's still gonna come out because I just used it not that long ago. This is the Sephora Collection Freezing Mask. I'm just gonna hold this upside down. This is the Instant Toning Effect Mask. It's a hydrogel mask and it had a little bit of a rubbery feel on the face, which was kind of nice because it did conform really well to the shape of my face. What I really liked about this face mask is that it actually tingled when it was on my face the entire time. Generally when I get these kind of like cooling masks or freezing masks, they kind of tingle a little bit for like 3 minutes, but then, you know, your face gets used to it and you don't really feel it anymore. This tingled for the entire 15 to 20 minutes that I had on my face, and I really enjoyed that. I always like to feel like my skincare is doing something to my face, so I do like that tingling effect. So I did really enjoy this one. Ugh, I have a moisturizer here that I finished up just this morning and I do not like it, and I'm so annoyed and so sad. So this is the Sephora Collection Nourishing Moisturizer, Hydrate and Repair, 3 oils, yada yada. I had been sent from PR by Sephora Collection probably like 3 or 4 years ago, their regular like face moisturizers, and I loved those to pieces. But because I had been continuously sent so much skincare, I never had the opportunity to repurchase them until relatively recently. So I noticed that they had changed their packaging, which was the first indication that something was a little bit different, but I was hopeful that it would be just as good as it was before. And a few people had even told me that they found that the ingredients were better now than they were in the previous versions. So I was, you know, eager to use it, and I finished the whole thing up. And I hated it. I truly hated it. I mean, not enough to stop using it, but this stuff just, I don't know, like it did moisturize my face, so I will give it that, but it never sunk in. It just kind of like, I mean, it must have sunk in to some degree because it did moisturize my face, so I didn't feel like I was ever having like dry skin, but it was so thick that it would sort of lay on top of my skin, and if I go to like rub my cheek, and I'm not wearing makeup at home during quarantine, if I would go to rub my face for whatever reason, it would ball up in these huge chunks that would just sort of like, I'd have to like rub my face to like pull the chunks off. It was like I was like peeling skin or molting or something. It was just so weird. I just hate it. I don't know what else to say. I'm so disappointed that they changed the formula. I mean, I know the name is different than the previous one, but they don't sell the old one anymore. And this was just so bad. I will never repurchase this. And I did buy the firming night cream at the same time, and that's the one I'm going to be using for my day-to-day moisturizer right now. And I'm hopeful that that one is different than this, but like, this was bad. This was so bad. I'm so disappointed. Like, it would interact poorly with makeup too. Like if I put foundation on top of this stuff, the foundation would then ball up on top of the moisturizer. So now I've got these like globby little things that I'm pulling off of my face. Anyway, I've talked about this enough. This is trash. Don't buy this. I finished up a face scrub from Aveeno. This is the Positively Radiant Skin Brightening Daily Scrub. I love Aveeno. I think I've talked about them in like every Empties video as long as I've had my YouTube channel. Aveeno is just one of those brands that I go back to all the time. And now that I finished up that Sephora Collection one and I'm using another Sephora Collection moisturizer, I have an Aveeno moisturizer on the back burner that I am so eager to get back to using because I know that stuff works. And this works too. This brightening scrub just feels fantastic on my face. I've gone through a lot of tubes of these over the years. And I just like the scent of Aveeno. It's just a comforting, calming scent. And yeah, this is a winner. I will definitely be getting this again. Oh my goodness. I finally finished this thing up. This is huge. Okay, so this is the Lush Shower Gel in the scent Yog Nog. It came out for the Christmas holidays. They always come out with like the bubble bars, and I don't think the shower gel is new, but it was new to me. And I did pick it up because I loved the bubble bar. I'm still actually going through that. You need so little in the bathtub. It's ridiculous that it's like 10 months later now and I still have Yog Nog bubble bar from last Christmas. Anyway, I've been using this consistently since March, I guess. It's a full 1 liter shower gel of the Yog Nog scent. And while I love this immensely and the scent was fantastic and I will definitely repurchase it again, I have to say I'm never buying a 1 liter size again. It might be cost effective, but after using this for like March, April, May, June, July, August, like 6 months straight, like half a year straight, you kind of get fed up with the scent and you want to change it up a little bit. So I would definitely repurchase this as like a 500 ml version. I just don't need to go overboard and buy the entire liter one, despite loving it so much. So this is a really creamy caramel scented shower gel. It says right here, cozy up to a creamy caramel scented lathers with a touch of spicy clove. I don't know if I smelled the spicy clove that much, but it just is so delightful to use. Oh, it's just like, what is that stuff called? Like toffee, the inside of a crunchy bar. What is that stuff called? That's what this stuff smells like. Oh, it's so nice. But it was really not something that I necessarily wanted to be using scent-wise throughout the summer. It's just because I had it, I wanted to go through it. But yeah, love this one to pieces, but I just need to not purchase this large bottle anymore. Side note, this thing is so big that I found it really just difficult to deal with putting it on like my poof because it's so large. So I would decant this into a travel size like squeezy tube and then just refill it every time it got empty with this main bottle. So yeah, I even like the packaging is just a little bit too cumbersome on this one. So loved it, but won't be buying the 1 liter size again. A nail polish remover. I have to say, this is one of my most consistent empties. I am still doing my nails like weekly throughout quarantine, and that just hasn't changed at all. It's something I've really enjoyed doing in the last few years, and you know, it's one of those things that I've managed to keep up while in quarantine. And as a result, I go through a decent amount of nail polish remover, and I'm always grabbing the Kohl ones from Shoppers Drug Mart. So this is the nail polish remover in the regular style. It is my favorite one. I've got like a cat hair here and it's driving me nuts. I hate when cat hair gets stuck in my foundation. It's so irritating. It's like, where is it? Anyway, this works better for me as the regular formula than the hydrating one. The hydrating one, I feel like or is it the nourishing one? Probably the same thing. Left like nail polish color residue on my nails. It was very strange. Anyway, I always buy the regular one. Okay, I finished a moisturizer. Actually, this was in a project pan that I had that I've abandoned at this point because I can finish up the skincare stuff in there, but there's no chance in hell that I'm ever going to be finishing up the makeup stuff that was in that project pan. So goodbye project pan 2020. Quarantine definitely murdered you. So this was in there and it's all done. This is the Soap and Glory Sugar Crush Body Lotion. And yeah, the sweet lime fragrance. I love this stuff. It's not too heavy of a moisturizer, but it gets the job done, which is really appreciated. And the scent on this is just so freaking good. It's a little bit sour, like it is a lime scent, but there's a sweetness to it that I've just never really smelled outside of the Sugar Crush formula by Soap and Glory. One of the things I like the most about this, aside from the fact that it just really worked well as a moisturizer, is the fact that all of the product actually like dropped down to the bottom so that I was able to get it. I've had some moisturizers in a pump too before that just cling to the edges and then you have to like go in and scoop around to try to get it out. That didn't happen with this one. They all, like, the product all sunk down to the bottom, which was great. And of course, having a pump top is so freaking nice with moisturizers. I hate having to like open a cap or twist off something, and then when you go to close it, your hand's already covered in moisturizer and you goop the top up. It's just a nightmare. Pump tops are where it's at. I have a face wash here that I've had for quite a while, and I only realized that I should probably finish this like I think a few weeks ago. Because it was sitting in my guest bathroom shower, and I was like, it's been there for probably about a year or two. I should use it up, because I mean, I don't want guests using like old products. So I grabbed it out of there and used it up. This is the Neutrogena Naturals Purifying Facial Cleanser. I like Neutrogena, and it did work out really well, but I prefer more of their newer products, like the Hydro Boost range. This was fine, but this just really screams like old school Neutrogena to me. The scent itself is fine. It worked out to clean my face, but again, I just prefer Hydro Boost stuff, which is more in like their, I guess it's their more updated range. I did get this from PR quite a while ago, and I did enjoy it, but yeah, again, back to the Hydro Boost. That's what I would pick up now from Neutrogena. Speaking of Hydro Boost, I've got one in here that is sticky. Ugh. I need a new bag. This Empties bag is just getting disgusting. Okay, so this is the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Hydrating Cleansing Gel, and this is exactly what I would purchase next time, as opposed to getting the one that I just talked about, just because this one as a range works out the best for me. I like the gel cream. I like the not the toner, what am I talking about? The serum, the moisturizer, like it's just, all of it's good, and this is as well. I love the scent of it too. It's just all around Hydro Boost can do no wrong as far as I'm concerned. Oh, here's another thing that was in my project pan. See, I did okay with the skincare stuff. This is the Too Faced Festival Refresh Mystical Effects Setting and Refreshing Spray, and I loved this so freaking much. It was sent to me by PR. I think I got a decent amount of the collection from the brand back in the day. It was part of that like unicorn festival collection. Anyway, I love that palette, and this was another product that I really loved from that collection. I can't tell you that it actually did that much to my face. I'm not convinced that it did anything really. I definitely didn't set my makeup, but it did add a little bit of a hydrated layer on top if I had too many, like, well, I don't use that much powder, but like it just kind of melded things together a little bit, not a ton. But the thing that I liked the most about this was the scent. Oh, it's so good. It's kind of like Sweet Tarts. Oh, I wish I'd bought another one of this, but I mean, the collection is ancient at this point, so unless I'd had the foresight back then to get another one, I could never get my hands on it now. It just felt so good to apply this in the mornings after doing my makeup before heading to work, especially in the summer. It was just like a really light, airy scent that just gave me a bit of a boost, honestly. And I'm sad it's done, because I can't get my hands on it anymore. I've got a small baby size makeup remover here by Marcel. This is their gentle makeup remover for sensitive eyes. I talk about it all the time. It's the best makeup remover ever. The reason I have a baby size here is because I made a boo-boo when I was ordering online. I thought I was getting a phenomenal deal on full-size bottles, but Dumbo Me didn't read how big they were. They just looked big online. So I bought like 6 at a ridiculously low price tag. When they showed up, I was like I felt so stupid. Anyway, I used up one of these mini ones. I think this might be the last one that I actually have. They're so good. Ugh, here's an irritating product that has hair on it. How lovely. Okay, so this is the No. 7 Laboratories Firming Booster Serum. Okay, so I use it as a serum and I didn't notice it doing that much. I felt like it actually sunk into my skin a little bit too quickly, almost as if it just kind of evaporated, which was a little bit strange. But the reason that I don't like this the most is because this packaging is so awful. It's so awful. So it comes with like, well, fine, a top, fine. But it comes with these like little metal things that you're supposed to like roll onto your face while you're applying it, and you squeeze it a little bit so it comes out of the center. Frankly, I never felt like the roller balls actually did anything for my skin, and I actually found like it made it harder to apply the product. So that was a no-go. And what's even more irritating about this is that you're supposed to, it's so goopy right now, but I'm gonna do it. When you close it, you're supposed to twist it one way, so that, gross, so that it closes and no product comes out. But because I wasn't using the ball thing anyway, and it's just, it's ridiculous to have to turn this thing every time that you use it. That I just eventually gave up on that thing and I left it open all the time. And then of course it just gets nasty and gooped up. And eventually, because you're letting it sit like this, all of the product actually fell into the cap, and you might be able to see some of it now. It's just kind of like sits at the bottom. And I was like, this is just the stupidest packaging. I don't feel like the product did a whole lot. So really I would not recommend this at all. I love Boots No. 7 as a brand, but this one is just a total no-go. Oh, I finished up a pair of lashes by Socialize. They're a Canadian brand. They sent me a whole bunch of lashes, I think it was last year, and I love them. They're so good. These are the style Lush, and they just eventually kind of lost their shape, so I wanted to throw them out and grab a new pair because the brand did send me a whole bunch of backups. Love them to pieces. They just look really, really good, but eventually they started pinging up a little bit at the ends, and I just wanted something a little bit more curved. Which the new ones will be when I open them up. And yeah, seriously, I can't rave about Socialize enough. I love their lashes, and I will continue to use them because, like I said, I've got a ton of backups. I have, oh man, an oil here. I don't know when I finished this up. I mean, I know it was within the last 2 months, but I couldn't tell you if it was this month or the one before. So this is by Indeed Laboratories. This is their Squalane facial oil. And I was using this off and on for probably about a year as like a nighttime oil. I did like it. I felt like it sunk into my skin really well, which is something I appreciate with a facial oil, because when I'm going to bed at night, the last thing I want to have is a sticky face when I'm putting my face on my pillow. So this sunk in really well. It did moisturize my face, and I did feel like it was hydrating. Would I repurchase it? Probably not, because I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm super into facial oils, and sometimes I think I'll just use a night moisturizer. So I'm not feeling like I'd rebuy the oil, but I did feel like it worked really well. And the very last thing in my empties is this Strip Lash Adhesive by Kiss. I have been using Kiss for a few years now. When I feel like the House of Lashes lash adhesive all of a sudden started irritating my eyes. I liked that one before, and I think it did work the best to keep my lashes on, but this was a close second. And because I think the House of Lashes one was irritating my eyes, I just ended up switching to this over the last few years. This one's gotten a little bit chunky though, and I just need to get rid of it. But what I like about this in particular, as well as the House of Lashes one, is just the fact that it's got like a painter brush on it. I'm pretty sure most lash adhesive brands are now doing this because it's just a lot easier to use. But do you remember when Duo used to have like that little squeezy tube thing? I hated that. That was so irritating. So I much prefer this. I will consider buying Kiss lash adhesive again, but I think I've got backups of other brands right now to use. And honestly, one of them might be an old House of Lashes one that I'm a little bit concerned about trying. But yeah, I'll bust it out, give it a shot, and if it irritates my eyes, that one's gonna go straight in the garbage, and I will probably pick up Kiss again. Okay, so that is it for empties. This bag has seen better days for sure. There's holes in it, and honestly, the bottom is so goopy that I'm going to finally junk that one and get myself a new, I mean, just gift bag, really. Start putting my empties in. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you found the mini reviews helpful, and I will hopefully see you next time. Bye.